Good afternoon, Steel City. Welcome to the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Our 38th edition will be live from the original podcast room of the Black and Gold Paraphernalia. On today's show, we say goodbye to the 2024 Pittsburgh Pirates baseball season with our Yinzer Report goodbye. But before that, there's one more segment, how Paul schemes before he gets that Rookie of the Year award. The Pittsburgh Steelers are now 3-1 after a slow start. Strong finish just came up short game, type of game played in Indianapolis. You may never hear this on the Yinzer Report again, but I will say this game was on the defense. Hashtag here we go. Penn State Nittany Lions now ranked 7th in the country, come off the whiteout energy proposed nature by Coach Franklin. The fans, the alumni, the team respond with an offensive and defensive line domination. Game at Beaver Stadium. I will start the show right off with our tremendous sponsors, Planet Jerky, premium beef jerky, the jerky that's on another planet. Seal the Deal Wax, Seal Wax stamps. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. And IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports and why we are on air doing the Yinzer Report. Steel City, please come join me on my 38th episode, 17th live on the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports. Let's go.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, single-A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all-brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the IE Sports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Ralph Calise, host of the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all out of sports. How's everybody out there doing? I'd just like to start the show off and give out regards to, we lost two big sports personalities yesterday, and that would be Pete Rose, the hit king of baseball. He passed away yesterday. Thoughts out to him and his family. And Dikembe Mutombo of the NBA. Noted basketball player in college for the Georgetown Hoyas. So prayers out to their families for those two awesome players in sports, and as long as I've been following sports. So it's great following their careers, and sad to see them go. All right, so today's show, we're going to start out with the Pirates. We're going to say goodbye to the 2024 Pittsburgh Pirates. As we all know, their season is over. They will not be in the playoffs. We knew this a while ago, and now it's come to fruition that they will not be in the playoffs for, I believe it was like the 23rd out of the past 26 seasons. So they have some work to do, and I have a goodbye for them, but we're going to do one last segment on our boy that we've been following all year and talking about. That's Paul Skeens. Paul Skeens, as you know, I anointed Must Appointment Watch TV for the Pittsburgh Pirates this year when he came up in May, and he did not disappoint. I don't think there was one game out there where he disappointed me. He didn't win a lot. He didn't win all of his games, but he finished the season with 11 wins and 3 losses. And the 3 losses that he lost, he actually could have won. But the Pirates blew the game at the end with the bullpen. So Saturday, he was slated to pitch in New York in the Bronx, which is another notch on his belt, which would be great for him in the MLB, to pitch at Yankee Stadium and get the feel of a crowd in New York to pitch. Now he wasn't supposed to pitch the game. I had found out that he talked his way into pitching the game. So he talked his manager Derek Shelton into pitching the game. And of course, the Pirates are the Pirates. And what they did is all right, go out there and throw 2 innings. We're only going to let you throw 2 innings no matter what happens. So I put the Paul Skeens hat on today and I hung his shirt up as a reminder that he was Pittsburgh Pirates baseball this season and he's going to be missed. So he went out there against the Yankees and he pitched 2 innings. He struck out 3. He struck out Juan Soto and Aaron Judge back-to-back on pitches that were insane. If you could just go back and watch the tape, just watch how he took care of them. But the best thing about Paul Skeens was after he threw his 2 innings, he walked off the mound with a smile on his face, looking at the Yankee crowd, looking at the Pirate dugout, looking back up at the Yankee crowd like, this is easy. This is my yard. And if I could have pitched 5-6 innings, I probably would have threw shutout baseball here in New York. He's just amazing, just an amazing player. I've fallen in love with him, and he actually won an award already. He was named 2024 Baseball America Rookie of the Year, and I believe before I came on the air, he was named Baseball Rookie of the Month. So now he's getting the accolades, but we need that big accolade from him. We need that Rookie of the Year award accolade from Paul Skeens. So what had happened was, like I said, he played in New York in the Bronx. He pitched the 2 innings that he told Derek Shelton, which is great. He told Derek Shelton, I'm going to pitch 2 innings. Well, he says, I'm going to pitch, and they said only 2 innings. So that's how it went. He went out, he threw the 2 innings, no runs, no hits. He retired all 6 batters. And like I said, he walked off the field with a smile on his face, like, this is New York. I could handle this. There was an article in the newspaper, as you know now. I do the show from New York, so I bought a newspaper the next day after he pitched. And now this is a New York newspaper. This is the New York Post. I just want to read the article that was written about him in pitching 2 innings. Now, mind you, this is New York now. So the article was by Zach Brazilier. He wrote this great article. If you blinked, you may have missed the most exciting young arm in baseball on Saturday afternoon. Paul Skeens towed the rubber at Yankee Stadium for the first time, but he wasn't on the mound for long. The time he did spend on it, he was worthy of height, striking out 3 Yankees, retiring all 6 batters he faced in a planned, abbreviated outing to close out the memorable rookie year. Definitely glad to be able to finish the season and cool to do it here. Cool to do it against this lineup. Wish I could have kept going, but that's where we are at, the dominant right-hander said after the Pirates topped the Yankees 9-4 in the Bronx. I like New York. The stadium is one of the destinations in baseball for sure to place a cross off your bucket list. Cool to be out there and pitch. Definitely going to keep checking it out tomorrow. That's what he said after the game. So he loved every minute of it. Like I said, that's the reason why he was smiling. He walked off the mound. The article goes on to say, with his famous girlfriend, LSU gymnast, and social media star Livy Dunn. Well, if you guys didn't know that, now you know that here on the Yinzer Report. Watching from the stands, Skeens was advertised showcasing a 100-mile-per-hour fastball with a mid-90s sinker and quality off-speed pitches. He froze Juan Soto with a heater. He dotted over the inside corner and got Aaron Judge to wave at a sweeper. It was awesome. You have to just go Google it, go watch it. He finished his first of what should be many years in the big leagues with a microscopic 1.96 ERA and 170 strikeouts in 133 innings pitched. He is the first rookie pitcher to make at least 23 starts and notch a sub-2 ERA since Scott Perry in 1918. Probably everybody watching this show right now wasn't even born in 1918. Pretty dynamic, the case with which he does it. You don't feel like he's max effort out there, Yankee manager Aaron Boone said. It's just easy velocity that he could step up on the four-seam sinker, change speeds on you really well because he does it with ease. It lends itself to him having a real command with it. Skeens, of course, the first overall pick in the 2023 draft and the favorite to win the National Rookie of the Year, became the 5th rookie to start the All-Star game in July. He finished the year strong by allowing 2 earned runs in 24 September innings with 32 strikeouts. Pirates manager Derek Shelton sat down with Skeens ahead of his last start to break down the plan with him limited his innings. He threw 5 innings his previous outings against the Reds. Now, as you know, listening to the Yinzer report here, he's been on limited innings, I think, since just before September. So he's only went 5 innings. I think that's the most he's went since September came and after. He wound up throwing 160 in the 3rd innings this year, counting his work in the minor leagues before he was called up on May 11th. That should set him up for a somewhat normal workload next season. Just take the ball and pitch, he said. A lot to build off for next year, but just got to go win. Asked his hopes for 2025, Skeen said, win a lot of baseball games. That seems likely when he's on the mound. Just a great article by this Post reporter. And I wanted to share it with everybody here, being that, like I said, the show is from New York, and I couldn't wait to go get the paper the next day. And, hey, I'm a guy that actually still reads the newspaper. So I couldn't wait to go get the paper the next day, and I knew there would be an article about him after he threw those 2 innings like that, especially in the Bronx. So good luck to you, Paul Skeens. Mr. Skeens, I guarantee you, I have a feeling you were definitely going to get the Rookie of the Year award. No ifs, ands, or about it. You should get it, and here I am. I'll be supporting you all the way through. All right, so that was the Paul Skeens segment, and now I'm going to give you the goodbye for the Pittsburgh Pirates for their 2024 season. So this is the Yinzer Report's goodbye to the 2024 Pittsburgh Pirates baseball season. Thank you, baseball. Thank you, Pittsburgh Pirates. Thank you for the incredible debuts. Paul Skeens, welcome to the show. You have taken Pittsburgh to a new level, as well as being a phenom, and next year the Pirates ace. Rookie of the Year award is the next. My must-appointment TV watch starting pitcher, hashtag raise it for you. That means a Pirate win on X Twitter there. Thank you, Pirates, for the laughs, smiles, and unforgettable summer nights. Although my hope this year was a wild card playoff spot, I feel with better management and coaching guidance, our young Pirates core who are scratching the deck of this ship at PNC Park with the current buckos, especially the pitching staff, the Pirates will break this long playoff drought and bring baseball emotional moments back to the Pirate fans in the Berg and at PNC Park. There were some actual coaching goodbyes that the Pirates are starting to get rid of. And the first on the list was hitting coach Andy Haynes. He was released. Bullpen coach Justin Mercagi, he was released. And the good old strength and conditioning coach, Adam Vish, all cut by the Pirates. I think it was yesterday or today. And from what I'm hearing, there is more in a possible shakeup. So we'll monitor that in the offseason, and we'll see what the shakeup is. I don't believe it's going to be Derek Shelton getting fired, because he already had the granted wishes of the of management that he would come back, but the management out there has just got to wake up. They have to get me. They need a coach to come in there and handle these young players. I don't think Derek Shelton is the guy. He proved it all year long. He was a little miffed at times on how to handle these young guys. I mean, you could see it earlier in the season when I did that show about the pitch count with Jared Jones. That was the start of it, and it just got worse as the season went along. They just recently took 2 guys out of the lineup to save money on their cap. Rowdy Tellez, as I mentioned it last week on the show, he was sent down to the minors so they could save $200,000 because he didn't make a games amount that he was supposed to play. So they saved $200,000 on that. Well, what is that? It's the major leagues. You're sending a guy who's been in the league for years to the minors. It's just horrible stuff. And then they did it with IKF, Ina Khalifa there. It was a whole big thing over the weekend that he wasn't gonna start because they wanted to say they wanted to send him down to the minors and save more cap money. But then it came out that he wrote a post and he came out and he said it was his choice not to play. He wanted to give a couple of the younger guys a spot. All right, that's what he said, so you got to go by what he said. And it was a great year. We started off 10-2. 10-2. Remember, we were 10-2. I had this team going for the division. But baseball is a long season, and that's basically what happens. And you saw what happened. They got to 500 at the All-Star break, and then after that, downhill. But, hey, we had Paul Skeens. Paul Skeens got us through the season, and hopefully he wins that deserved Rookie of the Year award. All right, so that's the Pirates goodbye. That's probably going to be the last segment for a while that we do on the Pirates, unless something major happens with a firing or a cut. And we'll definitely get into Paul Skeens when the awards come around and he wins that award. All right, let's check the chat before we go to a break and come back with some Penn State football. Joseph Mann, my nephew, is in the house. Thanks for joining, buddy. I'm going to order the brisket today. Joe, Planet Jerky, beef jerky. They say it's the best on the planet. And from everybody here at IE Sports Radio that has had it, tried it, there is no doubting it. Taryn, how you doing? Pitt's women's volleyball is still legit. No sets dropped, no matches lost. This team could go on our way. Taryn, I have a little spot on them I'm going to be doing right at the end of the Penn State football game. Yes, and thanks for keeping me updated on the game Sunday during football while the Steelers were playing. That was awesome. Thank you for that. Danny Man, rest in peace. Yeah, Danny, that's my other nephew. That's Joey's brother. We lost Pete Rose and we lost Dikembe Mutombo. Very, very, very sad day yesterday. Very sad day in the sports world yesterday. And good old Mary Shea. How you feeling, Mary? Good evening, Ralph. Have a great show. Thank you very much. I thank you all you guys for joining the show. And it's always a pleasure to have people in the chat that makes me feel that I know I'm being listened to. All right, so we're going to take a break. When I come back, I'm going to do Penn State. They played Illinois. They won the game, and just a crazy scene at Penn State Saturday. So I'll be back with that, and we're going to go to break. This is the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back.
Hey sports fans, do you like wine? Well, we've got the show for you. This is Let's Wine About Sports, a show where we talk about wine and sports simultaneously. From the classic Cabernet Sauvignon all the way down to the grapes that you've never even heard of before. Oh yeah, we cover it all. And we'll talk about a little bit of sports as well. Football, hockey, collegiate, women's sports, it doesn't matter. We're going to talk about it all, and we're going to whine about it all. So join me Monday at 8 p.m. on IU Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's up, New York? This is Ricky K coming at you at the NY State of Sports, a new show here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Listen to me every Thursday afternoon as we bring you the latest takes on the Yankees, Mets, Jets, Giants, Knicks, Nets, Rangers, Devils, and Islanders. Plus, you get some college hoops and what's the local sports events going on in the area. It's a state that never sleeps, so why not get the opinions and sports takes that never sleep? Again, every Thursday, 2 p.m. to the NY State of Sports. We'll see you then.
All right, welcome back. This is the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Let's get into Penn State. They were the only show of college football for the weekend for the Pittsburgh area. The Pitt Panthers were on a bye, and so was West Virginia. They will both be coming back this weekend to be playing along with Penn State. So Penn State went up against Illinois. They were number 9 ranked at the time when they played Illinois this Saturday, and they are now ranked number 7 after this win. It was 21-7. They beat Illinois, who came in. Illinois came in off a very strong game that they played before, and they were their offense was playing really well. But this game for Penn State, they wore their generations of greatness throwbacks versus Illinois. As we know, last week I mentioned there was whiteout energy on display. Coach James Franklin totally appreciated Penn State students, fans, and alumni for exercising the whiteout energy request. Brett Bielema, the Illinois coach, and James Franklin, the Penn State coach, they both showed mutual respect up until the game time for each other and their teams, talking about the white energy. What is it? I'm sure you saw some of the videos out there, and it was very cool. They're very well liked coaches of each other. Couple of things on the game. The Penn State rushing attack was to the forefront. Nick Singleton had 102 yards and a TD. Katron Allen had 94 yards and a TD. Penn State has one of the best rushing games in all of the country with Allen and Singleton, as they were bouncing off and dragging tacklers all night. Tight end Tyler Warren, we'll get into him, but he was nominated William V. Campbell Trophy semifinalist, and that trophy is for the academic Heisman. But he played a major part in this game, but we'll get into that one in a little bit. Another part of the game, the Nittany Lions offense and defensive lines were the stars in this game, just dominating just about every time they were out there. The defensive line and the rest of the defense went in lockdown mode as the 109,911 fans, all clad in white, helped shut down what had been a surging Illinois offense. They actually held Illinois to 65 yards in the second half. The defense in the second half forced 4 punts, recovered a fumble, and intercepted Illinois QB Luke Altmaier's pass to seal the game at the end, towards the end of the fourth quarter. The game started. It was a slog at the beginning. It was 7-7 at the half. The game started with both teams scoring on their first drives. Imagine that. They both scored on their first drives, and then it was just till the second half came. But Illinois and Penn State both sputtered for the rest of the half. Penn State, late in the second quarter, drove to the Illini 23-yard line, and kicker Sander Shattuck missed a 40-yard field goal. It was then Illinois' turn to botch its best chance to retake the lead. Moments later, Altmaier, the quarterback for Illinois, got the Illinois to the Penn State 2-yard line, had to retreat as a first down. On one play, he had to retreat as the first down snap sailed over his head, and he lost 3 yards on the next play on a keeper on a third down. He was sacked and called for intentional grounding. So he got sacked, and another 15 yards was added for intentional grounding on a third down. So they went from the 2-yard line all the way back to where the kicker tried the field goal. So now at the stadium, you can just picture the stadium all decked out in white. You could barely see an orange uniform or in the stands or jersey or anything. The Beaver Stadium was going nuts. Penn State crowd caused the Illinois to jump early on their field goal try, and kicker David Alano missed on the retry for 45 yards. So they went from their 2-yard line all the way back to attempt a 45-yard field goal in 3 plays. Wow. And that was all due to the crowd, according to what James Franklin said later on. So he missed the retry from 45 yards. That was one of the 5 pre-snap penalties by Illinois on the night. It was just a crazy scene out there. And this caused Coach Brett Bielema to say some moments that we could have capitalized on just didn't happen. You can't beat the number 9 team in the country having a 1st and goal at the 2 and come away with no points. It just doesn't add up. Oh, yeah, you got to agree with the guy on that. You're on the 2-yard line. You think you're going in for a touchdown for a 14-7 lead. Like I said, the Penn State defense was just insane in the second half. The defensive line was controlling the game. The offensive line was controlling the game on the offense with the rushing. And Abdul Carter had, for Penn State, he had 7 tackles, 4 solo, 2 sacks, 4 tackles for a loss, 1 pass defense. He's back. He turned it up for the big game. The defense in general had 7 sacks and 13 tackles for a loss, hence saying that the defensive line took over the game in the second half. They were mostly in the second half. Coach Franklin's comments after the game, that was a phenomenal environment. We thought the fans had 7 impacts on the game, whether it was timeouts, false starts, penalties, or bad snaps. Unbelievable. On running backs, Allen and Singleton, I don't know if there was a better combination of running backs in the country. Penn State takeaways from the game, they are now ranked number 7 after the win. They beat a top 20 team by 2 TDs and should have won by much more. Nick Singleton and Katron Allen can close games out by themselves. Like I said, the O-line was outstanding. And here we go. We're going to talk about Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren is the most complete tight end in college football. This kid plays tight end. He wears number 44. And I mentioned on a show 2 shows ago that he played a game and he looked like John Riggins because he wears number 44 and his uniform was all full of green grass stains. It was insane. He is the most complete tight end in college football. And Tyler Warner, he just gives the offense some creativities. He's setting up at quarterback, running the wildcat. He's doing RPIs, rushing the ball, lining up to block, and of course, pass catching with receiving yards after the catch. So I mentioned he was nominated for that other award. How about a John Mackey for the best tight end in college football award? I don't know. We'll see what happens. We thought the guy on Pitt over there, Bartholomew, was going to be this type of tight end, but Tyler Warren has really picked it up. Keep an eye on him. Like I said, Abdul Carter was back. He rediscovered his play, making the abilities. The run defense is now ranked in the top 5 in the country. And the bad thing about Penn State is Penn State was being Penn State with a lot of penalties and a lot of non-accountable mistakes. So, there was types of penalties by the players that was on them. And they couldn't come back from them. So see what happens with that. All right, so we'll get into the college schedule for next week now. Penn State, as I said, number ranked 7 in the country, will be at home versus UCLA at 12 noon Eastern time. So that's the West Coast coming to the East Coast in that new division of the Big Ten that's been formulated. Pitt is back in action. They'll be at Carolina and North Carolina, UNC, Saturday at 12 noon Eastern time. And West Virginia is at Oklahoma State Saturday at 4 p.m. So those will be the college games for next week. But now let's get back to the Pitt Panthers athletics. As I mentioned to Terran about the volleyball, he's a volleyball expert here on IE Sports Radio. I just got to put this out there because Pitt Athletics is really, really great right now. Panthers are 4-0, as we all know. And Pitt has a volleyball team and a soccer team that are both ranked number 1 in the country for college sports. So you have, we'll go through it here. You got Pitt Volleyball. That's the women's volleyball team. This team just don't lose, as Terran mentioned. They win straight sets every game. This is the first time in Pittsburgh history 2 teams are ranked number 1 at the same time, and this is for the first time. Pitt Volleyball and the men's soccer team are both ranked number 1 in the country. Pitt women's number 1 ranked volleyball team is 12-0, 2-0 in the ACC. They had their 12th win of the season. It was the 12th sweep of the season. That means they won in straight sets. So that's 3-0. I'm learning volleyball. It's great. Guys, take it in. Listen to Terran. That's Set Point. Terran Rodriguez has a show on IE Sports Radio. It's Set Point. Check it out. Volleyball. It's all about volleyball. Bree Kelly was named the PNC Achiever of the Week Award for Pitt Volleyball Women. Now, the men's soccer team is number 1 also ranked. They are 8-1, 4-0 in the ACC. They've won 5 in a row. They had a 2-0 victory over number 17 Virginia Tech over the weekend. And Casper Swainvee was named the ACC Defensive Player of the Week for soccer. So there's a little different type of sports for you there on the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio. Some soccer and some volleyball for the Pitt Panthers. And, of course, we all know Pitt basketball is right around the corner. And we're going to be on that team this year because last year they were something to behold at the end of the year, almost winning the ACC tournament. That was insane. All right, so that's it for the football for the college and the Pitt Athletics. We're going to take a quick break, and when I get back, we're going to get into Steelers football. Our beloved Steelers dropped a road game this week at 3-1, but don't let it keep you down because next week coming up, I think you're going to rebound and we'll get back in the winning column. So let's take a break, and I'll play the drop for Terran's Set Point, so this way you can get a little idea about the volleyball. All right, this is the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I will be right back.
What's up, everybody? This is Darren Rodriguez. Are you a fan of volleyball? Are you a fan of Thunder Spikes? Then I have the show for you, Set Point, where I cover NCAA men's and women's volleyball, high school boys and girls volleyball, beach volleyball, and even professional volleyball. Catch the action every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Good, everyone. It's Drewski, the host of Heart of Texas Sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. On this station, we cover everything in the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area. From we cover the Dallas Cowboys, the Dallas Stars, Dallas Mavericks, Dallas Wings, Texas Rangers, TCU, SMU, we cover it all right here every Wednesdays from 9 to 10 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you stay live with me on the Heart of Texas Sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
All right, welcome back. It's the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all of the sports. Earlier in the show, it was mentioned about IE Sports Radio shop. Get some merchandise for IE Sports Radio. I recently got mine. There is the black shirt. It's an awesome shirt. People, when I wear it, they respond to it and they ask about it because this is IE Sports Radio. We're on the air. We're gonna take over social media with this radio station. With our boss Larry B and Angela helping along, we're getting our shows out there. We're getting more and more shows every week. New people coming into IE Sports Radio, and just like I was picked out to do the Pittsburgh show, there are plenty of more shows coming along. And just tune into IE Sports Radio. You could tune into any type of sports for any city, and you'll be having a blast. You'll be having a blast. All right, so let's get into the Steelers. They are now 3-1, and I played Drewski's drop just before I came back on because we got the Cowboys next, but we'll get into that at the end. We'll do a little talk about playing Dallas. So we'll get into the Steelers. They lost 27-24 to the Indianapolis Colts at Indianapolis. Oops, sorry about that. They got off to a real slow start. First half, 17-0. They were down. They were just blitzed by the Colts. Anthony Richardson started the game. He wound up getting hurt. Joe Flacco, of all people, came in the game, and oh my God, he just the Steelers, they had no answer for him. I couldn't believe what I was watching. So it was 17-3 at halftime. Like I said, the Colts just dominated in the first half with Richardson before he went out, and then Flacco, and of course, you got to throw the refs in there. Anybody out there who's been watching football, have you seen any game that the refs have not made a bad call? And what I mean by that is they make the bad call, and then like today, and this happened 3 times already with the Steelers, the NFL comes out 2 days, 3 days later and said, yeah, it wasn't a penalty. Shouldn't have been called. Come on. You have that aerial place now in the NFL where they get called down and they stop the game for anything. They stop the game for players being hurt if they think they're hurt. If you see a play where they're going to throw a penalty on, like in this game, Minka Fitzpatrick hit a Colt who was trying to reach for the ball, but he saw him coming. You could actually see Minka Fitzpatrick. He was running. He ran 20 yards across the field. He was trying to pull up, and as he's pulling up, he hit the guy in the shoulder. He didn't nowhere near his head or anything. And they gave him a 15-yard penalty. Oh, it was just crazy. But they later on said today, yeah, you guys were right. You guys were you were penalized. You shouldn't have been penalized for it. It wasn't a penalty. Well, if you can, go out and check out Minka Fitzpatrick's comments about playing football after that game. It's like he don't even want to play anymore, and I don't blame him. This isn't football. This is not football. Not football. But anyway, getting back to the game. The defense, the refs and the defense had a hand in this. And like I said in the beginning, you'll never hear me say this again. I can guarantee it, hopefully. But the defense was the reason why we lost this game. They were not in the game in the first half. They were. You'll see why as I go along here, but it was bad. I'm surprised it wasn't more than 17-0. It was just a joke. And everybody out there who's blaming Justin Fields for this game, I think you better go back and take a look at the game because he did start out slow, but the whole team did. But you can't blame Justin Fields for this just because he had a fumble. And he lost, and he didn't, and the bad snap towards the end on the game-winning drive. That wasn't his fault. His growth is continually leading the Steelers back to be down by 3 points, and they had the ball for a tie or go to overtime or a game-winning TD. He also, don't forget, he brought them back with a banged-up offensive line, playing 3 rookies and 2 second-year players. Our offensive line is in shambles right now. We've lost I think we've lost 3 starters. Yes, 3 starters. We might get one back this week, but we lost the rookie, Troy Fontenot, and we lost James Daniel this weekend. So those are we're now working with an offensive line with a center who was a rookie And remember the 5-year plan. Remember I was talking about the 5-year plan about with Omar Khan about the O-line. 5-year plan. It's not even a 5-game plan. They're all starting already. And we lost one. We lost Troy Fontenot. He's out. He's out. Here's the Steeler defense. This is just insane, and it just looks so bad on TV. So bad. They had two dropped INTs where both drives, where those 2 interceptions were dropped, resulted in points. The Colts went 8 for 15 on 3rd down. 6 of those came on a 3rd and 6+. Are you kidding me? Oh, Colts finished the game 6 of 10 on 3rd downs and 6+ yards. Every drive they converted, they scored. So every 3rd down that they converted 6+, they scored on the drive. In the second half, the Steelers outscored the Colts 21-10. Something happened. They woke up. Justin Fields was amazing in the second half. He finished the game 22 of 34, 312 yards, 1 TD passing, 2 rushing, 10 rushes, and 55 yards. He had his coming out game. I mean, regardless, he had to lead them back. He had to lead them back from being behind, but he showed it all year. They were winning games. He was not doing anything to make them lose the games. He had to take them back. He got them back. It's just the defense was just they were just not there. They were just not there. And regardless it was 27-24, the Steelers should have been winning. They shouldn't even have had to come to that drive. They had a fumble in the first half with George Pickens, which was a penalty when they grabbed his neck. I don't know if you saw that play. He fumbled the ball. I mean, it was a bonehead fumble. If you see, the ball was like a loaf of bread. But he got horse-collared in the head, and he was going out of bounds. What are these refs looking at? That was at least they were right inside they were inside the 10-yard line on that play, and he fumbled the ball, and they didn't get no points. That would have been at least 3 to 7 points right there. And then Justin Fields, when he fumbled the ball, I mean, you see plays today, you don't even understand what the hell is going on. He tried to he came out of the shotgun. He had the ball. He started running around to his right. And he was looking to throw, and I don't know if he tripped over himself or what it was, but the way he awkwardly fell, his 2 arms hit the floor, and his shin hit the floor. He should have been down, even though they call him down, but they said there was no contact, and they took the ball out of his hands, and they were awarded the fumble. That was at least they were already in field goal range when that drive happened. So in no way should they have been down 27-24 with a chance to win the game, mind you, or tie the game. They were driving. They were at their own 45-yard line, and that's when the fumbled snap came. The center was saying that he saw a leg movement by Justin Fields, and he's supposed to go on the first leg movement, and he snapped the ball, and that was it. They wound up going back another 12 yards. It was like 3rd and 22, and then the next play he threw a 10-yard screen pass to Najee Harris, whose head was in the clouds as he didn't even get out of bounds. He was right next to the sidelines. He's trying to break through the tackle and get more yards. And then 4th down was just he threw the ball away. He threw it down the center of the field, just hoping somebody was there, but nobody was there. So hey, they lost 27-24. Give the Colts credit. They stopped them in the first half. The Steelers had no running game. It was a slow start. And listen, we're 3-1. We have a home-heavy schedule. We played 3 games on the road out of 4. We only played 1 game at home. You beat Atlanta in Atlanta, crazy environment. You beat Denver in more of a crazy environment. You came home. You beat the Chargers at home. And then you went to Indianapolis, which really, if you want to call it a house of horrors for the Steelers, I was telling my son as we were watching the game, I don't think we won a game in Indianapolis since Ben made the immaculate tackle when we went to the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl that year. But we did beat them on Thanksgiving a couple of years back, Ben and Antonio Brown. So you have a home heavy schedule coming up. You're 3-1. I think we're where we should be at this point of the season with the wins and losses. And now you come home and you play Dallas. And this is, you could call it a rivalry game. They're playing the Dallas Cowboys. All right. Back in the day, I don't know how old you Steeler fans out there are, but back in the day, this was a big rivalry for me when I watched the Steelers. And I heard a story today by Dave Wannstedt, and I'll tell you the story quick. He said that when he was nominated for defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys way back when, they were in the office, him and Jerry Jones and I think Tex Schramm was the GM at the time. They were doing something with the Steelers. It was something about a TV show or something, and the narrator for the TV show went to Tex Schramm. Went to Dan Rooney, Art Rooney Sr. The old guy with the gray hair, and he always had the cigar in his mouth. And he went to him and he says, all right, you're going to get first crack at this because your team has won more Super Bowls. He says, we want to do a thing called America's Team. This is a great story. Dave Wannstedt was telling the story today on a show. And Art Rooney took a puff out of the cigar and he said, America's Team, we are not. We are the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that, my friends, is how we are the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Art Rooney does not want to be called America's Team. So the way Dave Wannstedt was telling the story, the narrator looked over at Tex Schramm and he ran with it. He said, Tex Schramm said, we're America's Team. We'll take it and ran out of the room. And that's why Dallas is called America's Team. But always remember, Dallas, we had the first crack at it. And our owner said, we are the Pittsburgh Steelers. I love it. And to compound that, they asked Mike Tomlin in his press conference today. They were like, so what's the rivalry like with Dallas? And he said, listen, he goes, if you're in the Steeler organization and you step out of your car in that parking lot, black and gold is a legacy for life. Whether you're a player, whether you're management, whether you're a coach, whatever you are, there is no other way to put it. Black and gold is a legacy. Black and gold is like saying the Steelers are the same thing that Dave Wannstedt said in his thing. And I just found that so interesting. So interesting. Wow. So black and gold is playing Dallas Sunday. We're at Heinz Field. It's going to be a crazy scene, and I can't wait for the game. I'm looking for a big rebound with the defense. Maybe Justin Fields will open it up, and we'll see what happens. The chat is going insane here. What is going on here? Oh, all right. We're coming towards the end of the show. So, like I said, I don't know what's going on in my chat. Yeah, I'm not reading any of that from the chat. I don't know who this person is. I have to get in touch with Larry B and let him know what's going on here. I don't know if all right, but anyway, going on from that. So the Steelers are going to play the Cowboys, and that's Sunday night at Sunday Night Football, of course. And I think this person on YouTube is in the wrong. Whoever's putting these comments up there are on the wrong show. But anyway, the Steelers are playing the Cowboys Sunday night, and we have to win this game. This is a big game for us, and we're still in first place in the North with 3-1, and Baltimore's now 2-2, and you got Cleveland and Cincinnati at 1-3. And we'll see what happens with the game Sunday. I'm looking forward to it. And we all have we'll have our terrible towels waving, as you see my terrible towel in the back. And that's how we go. See what happens. All right, guys. I'm a little flustered at what's going on here in my chat. I don't know who this person is, and they're actually blowing up the screen. So I'm going to end the show for today. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This is the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll start the music, and hope everybody has a good night. Sports. Stay tuned for the show of the land with Jen B. She's coming up next. And we'll catch up with everybody next week. And remember, the Pittsburgh Steelers are not America's team. It's Steelers black and gold legacy. All right, guys, enjoy your night. Have a good week, and we'll talk to you next week. This is the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sport. Thank you, Pittsburgh. Good night.